Hi, this is Anthony Beaker. I'm with Group 3. We chose to answer the question, select a business or societal problem. How can the principles of Stephen Covey help that problem? We chose to apply the 7 principles of Dr. Covey to the real-world application of business ethics due to the catastrophes that have taken place in the recent years. Our group members, me, Anthony Beaker, Sean Gatewood, and Crystal Wheeler will present in these problems. Now if we could look at slide 1 real quick, what would Dr. Stephen Covey have to say about the business ethic crisis in America? This is what Dr. Covey would have to say about all the unethical business problems that have been caused in America. Number 1, we must first realize that the corruption is caused by individuals making decisions. Number 2, you must set up a constitution of ethics that your company will abide by. Number 3, everyone must buy in. Number 4, it must be followed and constantly monitored. And number 5, you have the power to change. Now you'll see later on that all 5 of these points that were made from slide 1 will be able to be applied to all the examples that we're giving when breaking the habits. Now if we could refer to slide 2, habit number 1, be proactive. What does it mean to be proactive? Well, it's about properly allocating your time to improve yourself and being able to put blame on yourself. That includes setting up proper ethic patterns, being able to set it up and apply them and take the time out to make sure that you're not being unethical, to make sure that you're following all the regulations. And this is something that Bernard Madoff, a person who once had the characteristic traits of being proactive, broke. And what he did is he did this by setting up a Ponzi scheme. And as you can see, the pyramid on slide 2 shows how fast actually a Ponzi scheme can take off. And as you can tell, through his actions and knowing and willing choices, he knew what he was doing, he still went about and did this due to greed and losing the characteristics of being proactive. Now if we can refer to slide 3, we will jump on habit number 2. Begin with the end in mind. What does begin with the end in mind? It's about translating your mental perceptions or ideas into a physical. And what traits also come with this? Well, you're gonna need your priorities and you're gonna need organization to have this. Because to do so, you must be able to set in stone everything into place when translating your mental into physical, because you cannot have a mistake between those two. And what's a good example of a fault? Well, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac is a big example of a fault of translating the mental into physical. Mentally, they had the idea that they could set out and create a housing market. Physically, it didn't work. And why didn't it work? It's because they did not take the idea that the housing market could fall, or could fall in price. And pretty much this is the reason to the whole collapse to the housing market.